Yo, how's it going? I'm thinking of making a new project. I worked on my Reaper buy, and that one was really great. I worked on it for 2 weeks, and now I feel like I need to do something more. Presenting more projects can, give recruiters and companies an idea what your skill set is. So I'm thinking of making one, and the idea came from when I was working at Target, because I work at Target on the weekends, and we have this sheet that we have to write down our name, um, our information of like if we're getting a box cutter, the number of the box cutter, the device, the walkie-talkie, and all that. And you got to check it out, and we have to write it down on this piece of paper. And the thing is, not everyone wants to write it down. I feel like it because they don't want to grab a pen and write the whole information down. And the idea came to me, and then I thought, well, we could probably automate that. I feel like you could write a program that can input all that information and then spit it out in a form of a spreadsheet to which people can just, higher ups can just print out the information directly instead of everyone having to write it down. And not everyone has the best handwriting, so it just creates so many problems. And I feel like creating a C# project for it would be kind of like a goal for me, to prove myself that I can do it. And the thing is, I never worked on C# with spreadsheets, and I thought it was kind of overwhelming. But I saw this one YouTube video called I Am Tim Corey, and he basically gave a tutorial, the basics of how you can use C# to manipulate, create, save, delete, and just like create spreadsheets straight from the C# using a NuGet package. And I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna dedicate myself and actually do that. I'm gonna try my best to work it as much as possible and create it into a C# terminal application. And this is my biggest goal, is to create a web application around that. I'm not sure if I could pull it off, but I'm going to try my best to do it. So my goal for my project is basically using a C# application and be able to input that data onto an already created spreadsheet, and then just fill out the rows and the columns. So as you can see here, I have a layout of the log that I recreated that looks similar to the one that's in our building. And basically, I want to do it is, so I want to create a list of a person and has all that information already written down. Mainly right now, it's going to be a console write line and read line where it says, oh, what's your name, what's the number of the box cutter, your shift, the walkie number, and all this information. So I want to make sure I input all that information down here. I don't want to create a new one, a new Excel sheet, and then just write down the information, because I want it to also be stylized. So that's my main focus for now. And basically by the end, I just want to basically create this. And then also I wanted to do it as a loop. So it'll say at the end, it'll say, hey, do you have, do you want to add more people? I want to make sure I'm going to put yes. And if I put yes, instead of rewriting anything in the first row, it goes down to the second row and writes down the new person's information. And then it'll ask again, it'll go through a loop and say, hey, do you want to add another person? Yes. And then just go so forth, so forth, so forth, up until, it's already, all the information's written down. Like I said, first it's going to be a C# application, and then hopefully I'll be able to create a net application for it. So as you can see, I already written down a little bit of the C# application, and I use a lot of help with the YouTube video that I previously mentioned. I will link it if anyone is interested in using spreadsheets, and this is a good start. So within the main task, there is some licensing for using the NuGet package. Then it will create a new Excel sheet. I create a list of person model named people and run a method called getSetUpData. In the beginning of the method, the program will ask user for the information that is within each column of the spreadsheet. All answers are saved onto a local variable to which will be used to assign all the information needed for the list of person model. It then asks if you wish to continue. If yes, in this case, Y, it will do a while loop. Within the while loop, it is entering the same information and saving the answers to the same variable, which will assign it to a new list of person model. Each person has different information unique to them. It will continue looping until when it is asking you if you want to continue. If you press anything besides Y, it will return the list back to the main method and save the information onto the Excel spreadsheet. During the method save Excel file, it checks if there is already a spreadsheet made. If it is, it will delete it. It then creates a new spreadsheet named main report and add the data onto the worksheet starting at cell A1. Alright, so let's see how it runs. So there's still a lot of null proofing I still need to do, and I'll get to it once I have, basically have the code running. But once I run this application the way it is, a little console comes up and it says hello world, and then it starts asking you this information. So for this, I'm not at work actually, so I'll just put my name, and let's say I'm a box cutter named 1, a walkie named 2. I'm working from 2:30 to 10:30. My PDA device, let's say 3, printer. I'm not using a printer, and I'm not using a Monarch. It says, would you like to continue? If I press Y, it starts looping again. Now let's see if I can put in a new person. 5, would you like to continue? Let's put one more. And then now if I want to exit the loop, I will put anything. I can put N. And it says it's done. So where is it? So it is actually saved in this local area in your hard drive. And once I pull it out, you'll be able to see it. So I'm going to actually use Google Sheets for this one, only because I don't have Excel in my computer currently. I'll get that as soon as I can. But for now, I'll upload it to the Google servers, and we'll still be able to see all that information available. So as you can see right here in the D drive, there is a test spreadsheet that was created purely from C#. So if I upload it into the computer, or in this case into the Google servers, all that information that we wrote down is now saved, and each row has their own information. So Kim has her own unique information. I have my unique information that I put in. Patrick has his own unique information that he put in. And as you can see, it is working perfectly fine. However, I will be working on it to, instead of creating a new one, it opens the one that's already made as a template and write it down and save it separately. But for now, it works, and it's working great, and so far I'm pretty happy with it. I still have a lot to do. Like I said, I still want to use that template and then save it as a separate entity so it doesn't override the template at all times. I still need to create the net application for it, which is in itself a whole different category for it, so it'll probably be a different video. But the fact that I got it running through just command prompt and then creating it was really good, and I just realized the potential that I can, make with manipulating spreadsheets straight from a C# application. There are some of them that you can use the Google API and then remotely edit spreadsheets that are already uploaded into a Google Drive. That's also pretty good and something I'll look into it as well. But for now, this is my main focus. So far, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new. I highly recommend, learning about spreadsheets and how to use C# and implementing in it. And hopefully, I see you in the next time.